When I tell you that this is going to be a long video and that I was all over the place, I was at the place where I wasn't going to watch it because it was too scary. Yeah, me and my grown self was scared. I didn't know where we were going. I barely knew where we had started at. When I tell you I was all over the place, I was all over the place. Nobody want me. I made sure I ain't looking no spoiler videos. I watched this thing for hours back to back, lost precious sleep. I have heard people saying that they know who the killer was. And all I got to say to that is you a lie. Ain't no way in the world that you watched this and you knew who the killer was. This video is going to be full of spoilers. So if you haven't watched it, turn the video off now and come back. This is only for those people who know what I'm talking about, how it started, how it ended, and we're going to talk about everything in between. So again, spoiler alert. If you have not seen this, His and Hers on Netflix, turn the video off now, come back. Because, honey, we about to get into this. Shall we? Oh, yes, we shall. A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, to my nieces and nephews, and all of y'all who have been here through the long. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for auntie advice. Sweet old. Yes, time for auntie advice. Oh, yeah. It's time for auntie advice. So if you still here, it's because you want to hear it. If you still here, it's because you seen it. If you're still here and you haven't seen it, you're being nosy. Hi everybody, and this is Auntie, and I am here to talk about a series that it's not a series, a show that is on Netflix right now called His and Hers. Let me bring it up. Did I save it? It is only on Netflix. It started January 8th. I don't know how I missed it, but I did. I have another one that I'm looking at that we're going to conversate about too. But this one right here, everybody told me this is a must. This is a must. When I tell you that I was up late last night, when I tell you that I was up late last night looking at this skid up underneath my sheets, drinking, would you say nosy? You nosy. Okay, Deirdre, you being nosy. Okay, Sugar 48 says, I'm tuning in now. Candace said the book is better. Hey, boo. Hey to all my members. I ain't got time to read. Okay. But I got time to watch a good show. Y'all, I was all over the place in fear. Let me just tell you a little bit about this. I'm going to show y'all some of the characters in here and I'm going to talk about it. I ain't going to talk long. I'm going to try not to talk wrong. But y'all, So this story is from a book, right? Let me see if it gives me all that. It's His and Hers Cast Guide. Meet the suspects, uncover their shared stories. So the premise of this is a small town, right? It's a town called Deathlonia, I believe. It's a sleepy town in North Georgia. This is a psychological thriller. The premise of it is a journalist by the name of Anna Andrews, who is played by Tessa Thompson, learns that an old high school friend, Rachel, was found dead in her hometown. So she goes in there looking for answers. Upon return to home, Anna discovers that her husband, who she has been estranged from, right? She's been estranged from him for a year. Okay. So what had happened was her and her husband was together. They was living his life. He was in the police department and she was a journalist. I want to say she was a news anchor, but y'all let me know. JW, was this crazy or what? So, like I said, what had happened was she left her husband because they had this wonderful marriage. We saw them getting a home, all that kind of stuff, all the things. All the things. One night they had the baby. They had just had the little baby, and the two of them wanted to go out for a night. And they left the baby with her mama. Now she kept trying to tell him, I don't want to go out. Think we should postpone. But no, he was like, the baby gonna be fine. They come back to the house. If I recall it the way I think I'm supposed to recall it, there were ambulance or medical vehicles there. They rushed the baby. Was it at the hospital, y'all? At the home? I don't know. So they goes, child, and finds out that the baby has passed away. She can't take it. The mama can't take it. Can't nobody take it. So she decides for her mental health that she just gonna up and leave. She ain't tell nobody where she was going. Nothing. Here it is. The baby dies in the care of the grandmother. You know, she is regretting her decision to leave the way that she did. Everything. He loses his job because he spazzes out. Their lives is just in ruin. He, as a detective, could not find his wife for a whole year, right, y'all? So he couldn't find his wife, all that, and all of a sudden, she's back in town. Now she's motherless now. I mean, childless now. All the things. She has a very sarcastic mouth. She's quick off the tongue. All that, right? And so, but she comes back to her hometown. I guess to try to get her life together. I don't freaking know. But she finds out that there has been a murder. Okay, so let me show y'all real quick the cast and the characters. And honey, we just gonna go here on and talk about this. Because when I tell y'all, I was all over the place. So this is Tessa Thompson. And they gave a little brief summary of her. This is coming from Netflix.com, TUDUM articles. This is Tessa Thompson. She is playing the character Anna. After a personal tragedy, Anna isolated herself away from her life and career as a WSK TV news anchor. But when her high school friend Rachel is murdered in their sleepy hometown, Anna returns to report on the unsolved case. Child, both Tessa, who is Anna, okay, and Berthold described Anna as a go-getter. She runs towards ambition and works seriously hard, okay? They said that she had previously starred in Creed, Thor, and Dead White People. This is John Bernthal, okay? Since losing his job in Atlanta, Jack is now working as a sheriff's office detective in his hometown, where he lives with his sister and his niece. He's still technically married to Anna, but the two are currently estranged from each other, and the relationship is complicated by loss and betrayal, okay, because they lost their baby. When Jack is assigned to investigate the murder of someone he knew, he becomes deeply troubled by the case. He's trying to do the right thing and can sometimes be misguided, but he always leads with a heart, okay? This is Suniti Mani. She is playing Priya on the show. She's earnestly efficient, eager to please, and fascinated by murder. Priya is a new detective, and she almost messed up the bag. For those of you all who've been watching this, y'all know she almost messed up the bag. But anyway, having left the big city to work in a small town, Priya brings a sharp quirkiness to the job that her more experienced partner, Jack, finds both endearing and annoying. She's already starred in Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, Death of a Unicorn, and Roses. Crystal Fox. I ain't got it to do. Crystal Fox is Anna's mother, y'all. She plays Alice. Alice is strong, says what she thinks. She lives alone in her home where she raised her daughter. Following a family tragedy, as I told y'all, the baby passed away while in her care. Alice hasn't heard from her daughter in a year. Can we, Well, her son-in-law, Jack, has been checking in on her. Alice's health is in decline, which has recently resulted in some odd behavior around the town. Keep that in mind. She formerly played on Driving Miss Daisy in the Heat of the Night, The Have and the Have-Nots. This is Pablo Schreiber, okay? Richard is one of the best camera people at WSK TV News and a husband of Anna's professional rival, Lexi Jones. When Anna returns as field reporter covering a murder, she chooses Richard to be her cameraman. Then we got Lexi. She's played by Rebecca Rittenhouse. She's a smart professional and driven by raw ambition. Lexi is a news anchor for WSK TV News, a position previously held by Anna. Capitalizing on Anna's recent leave of absence, Lexi leapfrogged into the anchor desk position, and though she claims to be delighted to see Anna back at the news station, she has no intention of giving up her role. This is Marin Ireland. She plays Zoe. Zoe is Harper's sister. Okay, the detective. That's his sister. Okay, that's Jack Harper. Okay. The two of them live together, and she has a little girl. She is sharp-tongued and bored. She lives with her 6-year-old daughter, Meg, and is currently and begrudgingly letting Jack stay with her until he gets back on his feet, because he got fired because he went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when Anna left him. Her love of wine and her too tight sweatpants suggest that Zoe peaked in high school, so of course she finds the recent murder of her former classmate equally exciting and freaking scary. And then you got Chris. Chris Bauer is Clyde. He's the husband of Rachel. Now, mind you, Rachel done got she dead to the bed, okay? Dead to the bed. He is a pizza chain mogul who's very candid about his wealth. As a person of interest in Jack's investigation, Clyde is keeping secrets that just might make the perfect suspect. He was in The Wire, True Blood, and Deuce, okay? Then you got Poppy Lou. She plays the role of Helen. And I mean, honey, she a bitch. Helen is a fiercely self-protective head mistress of St. Hilary's Academy, the high school she once attended along with Anna, Rachel, and Zoe. A good friend of the murder victim, Helen becomes increasingly incensed by Anna's reporting, and Anna can't help but feeling like her former classmate is hiding something. Chill. Okay. Okay. So we open this month up, y'all. Y'all, we open this up with a murder. Rachel Chow is dead to the bed. And I mean, when I say dead to the bed, I'm talking about laying on top of a car, a sports car that is, with 40 stab wounds. Just up on the car, just dead. The car is in the woods downtown to the hill. Okay? It's downtown in the woods. So people can see that there's something that's going on, but they have put a police barrier up so you can't go downtown to the woods. So Jack comes up, he's telling people, everybody get the back. We got people are out there, reporters and all of that, first to the scene. And they're trying to figure out who's dead, number one, and how they got done. Okay. Now, mind you, Anna just came back. She just got back in town. And she just standing there. Now, she got the cameraman, which is her rival husband. Jack is her husband. Okay? Keep up with me, y'all. Keep up with me. So she is a reporter. She's been gone for a year. So of course, just even seeing her is devastating to him. Because hey, Tamika Boo, because she been gone for a year. Tamika, was this not good? So they together, she together. He's telling them that they gotta move once they do the criminal, processing and all that kind of stuff, processing the crime scene. Then they'll let them know, what happened, who done it, what, woo, 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 woo. So he goes down. He's telling the news reporters and everybody, go to the side, do what you got to do over there on the side, right? Because I ain't got it to do right now. So as he spins around on his heels to walk down the thing, right? Anna yells out, did you tell everybody you know her? So he turns around and he looking like, he's mad, first of all, right? Because she done just lollygagged on into the town with no warning, no heads up, no nothing. And she embarrassed him in front of everybody. So she got the little cameraman and all of that kind of stuff. And so the little, Prior, who was the little new detective, she real hungry and stuff for her first big case. And she was like, "What was that about?" And she was like, "Do you know the victim or whatever?" So he kind of brushes that off, and she's like, he's like, it's just a little something, something, she's just trying to be antagonistic. And so the little new detective was like, don't sound like that to me, like sound like something more. So they go back down there. We see, they tell us that, she has these markings on her nails and all of that kind of stuff, right? Somebody put red fingernail polish on her nails and they clip the nails down to the quick, right? Okay, for a dog is to the quick. But they clipped it all the way down to the skin where you bleed now, okay? And I can't remember what was on the nails. I'm gonna look at the comments and y'all tell me what was on the nails. But child, so just a major murder scene. So she up there, Anna's up there acting a fool. Okay, this is Anna on here. She up there acting a fool, and she goes to have lunch with the cameraman, which is her rival's husband. So they go out and they have a little dinner at the, the diner and all of that. And she starts talking about the wife. And he was like, she was like, I know y'all got long nights and all of that kind of stuff, all that stuff going on. She was like, I know, you have lonely nights and you want to be with her. And this is all about her career and woo, woo, woo. Long to the short of it, next thing you know, honey, they up in the hotel room getting it in. And I mean, when I say getting it in, they was getting it in. So, her husband, Jack, decided, I'm going to go ahead on and finish this up, but I'm going to come back for that. So he comes down to the hotel. He finds out where they staying at the reception. It was like, I ain't supposed to give you the information. He was like, whatever. So she gave him the information on where their room was. He comes up there and he hears his wife getting it in with the cameraman, which is the other girl's husband. Okay. She is, let me make sure I keep these names together. She is Lexi's husband. So she had an ulterior motive for hooking up and working with him from the giddy up, right? So he knocking on the door, she telling the dude, don't stop. He can hear everything that's going on the outside, right? She know it's her husband. So by the time she get out and everything, he's like, okay, where you been? My life was destroyed, whoop. She finished with the cameraman because, she know what she doing. So she's like, okay, so who's dead? Who is that's dead basically? Make sure I get these names right because y'all know I will fuck up a name. So Rachel, who was played by Jamie Tisdale, is dead. Now all of them went to this little school, right? They all went to this school where one of the girls that was going with them, right, is in Helen is now the head mistress of the St. Hilary's Academy. Now they show Anna's mother, whose name is Alice. Alice was the cleaner. She would come and clean people's homes. They were at this school where her mother really couldn't afford it, wasn't the right skin color, wasn't the right economic. Y'all know what I'm saying. She was none of that. But she was like, I begot if my daughter gonna do that. So she did what she had to do domestically in other people's homes to make sure that her daughter could go to the school. Now Rachel had three sisters. Okay. Lexi, Lucy, and herself. They were wealthy. So when the mother came in with her daughter and she was showing Anna to school and everything, The little girl walked up on her and was like, "Hi, how you doing, Miss Alice?" And she was like, "Fine, hi." And it was like, "What are you doing here?" She was like, "I'm, enrolling my daughter." She was like, "Maybe you girls can, get to know her, show her the ropes around the school and everything, since y'all privileged been here the whole time." And they was like, "Sure." So they told Anna, find us in the cafeteria. So she finds them in the cafeteria. They're those type of girls who are the mean girls. They're the rich mean girls. They are the ones that everybody wants to sit at their table. Everybody wants to know. They want to be associated with them. They just got it all going on. They got it all going on. And they let the maid's daughter hang with them. Now they had a sister. Her name wasn't what it is now. I can't think of what her name was. Anybody remember what her name was? Because she ended up changing them. Okay, we'll get there. But hold on. I got a picture of her. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, we're going to get into this. Y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all, when I say that this was good, when I tell y'all that I went to bed, that's why I'm yawning, because I went to bed at the break of dawn, boo. I mean, when I tell you that I stayed up all night looking at this month, I stayed up all night. Okay, so this is the sister. When they was young, this is them young downtown to the school. This is the sister. And this is Anna. Okay. Boom. This is her name. Okay. So they hanging together. The sisters, was it Catherine? Yes, I think it was Catherine. Thank you, boo. So they was bullying them and all that stuff, and their own sister. So when they had the sister at the table, they told her come over and sit at the table, right? Because Anna was real sympathetic to the girl because she was heavy set. She didn't look like them. And so they had knocked her drink over, whatever, and was like, "Oh, the sister was like, I'll go and get you another drink." And she was like, "No, it's okay. I'm fine." Now, at the moment, I didn't know they were sisters because, especially with the way they treated her. So she was like, "No, I'm going to go and get you another soda." So she goes and get her another soda and everything, right? Knocks her soda over, gives her the alternate soda. She said, "Go ahead and drink it." And she was like, "No, I'm good. I don't need to drink it." She was like, "Go ahead on and drink it now." So the girl drinks the soda, and she was like, "It tastes different." And she was like, "Yeah, because it got pee in it. I peed in it." So the girl's just getting bullied by her friends. This black girl is hanging with them because they know her mama. They trying to make her think she in. So they 16 years old, and it's Anna's 16th birthday. The one sister invites her over to the house, has her try on a bra, and then they want to take pictures of the fat girl and they want to take pictures of the black girl with her bra on. They all go out into the woods. I don't know why, because this wasn't even Anna's style. But when you got peer pressure and you feel like you have to do what you got to do to adjust, because your mama trying to get you the best education that her money can buy. She's trying to put you in a posture, in a position to be successful in life. You do what you got to do. So she was getting along. She was hanging along for the get along. So they all go to this little campground, and some stuff pop off downtown at the campground, where we see that these boys, the sisters, have set it up where these boys came and started attacking the sister Catherine. And then it goes off. Now, that was years ago. So during that time period, we see Catherine and her two sisters with the parents saying, "We're going to go out on the boat." So they're like, "Okay." So Catherine is like, "I don't want to go on the boat. It ain't a boat anyway. It don't even have a motor. It's a little sailboat. A boat is a boat." So they take her to go on out on the thing, but before she come, her sister makes a fat joke about her. Told her she need to, watch her figure and her weight and don't be eating this and knick-knack, patty-whack, give a dog a bone. And then she goes on out there with the mom and the dad, her and her little blonde-headed skinny sister. But they ragging on the fat one with the brunette hair. She doesn't fit. So as she's walking, she was like, and can you get my inhaler for me? So the girl was like, sure, I'll get your inhaler. The sister was like, mm-hmm. So as the sister is walking out to the dock to get on the boat, she got the asthma pump behind her back. Now, mind you, the sister said, can you bring my asthma pump? My inhaler. She was like, yeah. So as she's walking, she's spraying the stuff out. She got that asthma pump upright like this, y'all, and spraying all this out. She got it behind her back, and as she's walking, the medicine is just she walking down there to get with her family. By the time she get to the dock, the end of the dock where the boat is, the sister said, did you remember my asthma pump? She said, yeah, here you go. Now, mind you, the whole time she walking slowly. By the time she get down there, ain't in it. But she got the asthma pump. They showed them out in the middle of the little, I don't know if it was a lake or what it was. And the sister began to have an asthma attack. They trying to give her the asthma pump. You can hear the family screaming and hollering. The sister done died on the boat. You know why? Because wasn't in her asthma pump. The sister said once you start killing somebody, you just learn how to do it really, basically. I mean, you a pro at it. Once you do it the first time, you good on all the rest of the murders you got to do. They ruled the death accidental, had an asthma attack. Nobody was the wiser that wasn't in the asthma pump. It wasn't nothing in the inhaler. So at a very young age, she done killed her sister. So we just move on, we move on and everything. Anna's coming around, her and her husband are having conversations and all of that kind of stuff, right? Because she's back now. We know that she done lost, her baby died. We don't know what happened with the baby. We just know that the baby was in the mother's care. That's all we know about it, right? So she goes over to him. She's talking to him at this point the day before. They didn't have any identification on who the person was that was dead. She asked Jack. Jack says, I'm going to tell you who it is, but you can't say nothing. It was Rachel, which was one of the girls in the crew that hung with her, that they all hung together, right? So when so she's like, what? He's like, but you can't say nothing because the police department hadn't released it. She goes to her old boss. She's trying to get her job back. But mind you, Lily got the job now, okay? So she can't have the job while the other girl got the job because she's the new anchor. She walked away from it for a year. She gonna have to so she just doing street work, that grunt work, out there, on the street. She's not a news anchor anymore. Girlfriend got that job. So she's doing what she's doing with the woo whoop and the boop. She out there on the street and she does a report based on the information that her husband gave her, and he is livid, right? Because they hadn't released it. They did release that she had gotten stabbed 40 times. When he went to the coroner's office to go and find out how she had died, the manner of which she died, she had found out that there was a bracelet in her mouth. So the coroner goes and pulls out the bracelet and was like, oh my God, this is so odd. Why would somebody stuff this down her throat? So and and the doctor had revealed while he was there, had revealed that had they were going to be able to find the person because she had a lot of semen in her. And so the girl was like, so did she have sex or whatever? So the coroner was like, either she made love to somebody before she was killed or after she was killed, somebody. Okay. All right. Mind you, the next night, Anna is out there on them streets because she's trying to find out what's going on. She didn't came back. She got some things that she needs to prove. So she goes out. Okay. When she came back in town, what they didn't show us was that the last person that they believed saw Rachel alive was Anna's husband, the police detective. Yeah, they found him. Well, Anna did because Anna was standing outside. Hold on, I need to show y'all this picture. Anna was standing outside hustling and caught her husband in the back of the truck with Rachel. So, according to Anna, her husband was the last person that saw Rachel alive. So now he running around trying to cover his tracks because he know he was with her hours, maybe minutes before she was dead, found dead in the woods. Now, she was married to the gentleman that I showed y'all earlier, who was rich. He has diabetes and congestive heart failure. So he said his thing ain't going up. Okay. It's not functioning and firing on all cylinders, if you know what I mean. So they have decided and made an agreement that she can go and make love to whoever she want to make love to. They said that she loved being out, you know what I'm saying, downtown, in the woods. Her husband said she always wanted to be with men who were beneath her physically, and she wanted men she thought low of. So guess who she was in a car with doing the nasty? She was out there with Anna's husband that she walked away from because I didn't feel nothing for because I was like, you walked away from your good man, Savannah. Now, her husband was the guy that was played by Chris Bauer. And he was like, she just was nasty. She was a freak. I let her do what she wanted to do. But no, nothing can do about it. I mean, we had an agreement. So she was out there with Jack. And Anna was standing in the rain watching her husband be with someone else. She knew it was Rachel. So Jack appears to have a whole lot going on, y'all. Like a whole lot going on. They can't find her cell phone. He goes to the husband's home to question the husband, him and the new, the new rookie detective, and he tell him all kinds of stories. He lets him see the footage on his camera that he was at home with his dog in the rain. He ain't had nothing to do with her killing. But of course, they putting stuff together. What I meant to tell y'all is when he went to the coroner's office, because he was on the scene, they had basically, the coroner said, I need both of y'all to give me a DNA swab so I can rule y'all out of the DNA that's going to be found on her body. Of course, he took the little swab and was like, all right, yeah, I got stuff I got to do, but I'll bring this back tomorrow. I'll swab my mouth and I'll bring it back tomorrow. Well, that went on for days, of course, because he know he was the last person that saw her alive. So it's a whole bunch of going on, just a whole bunch of that's going on. Anna is confronting people. She went out there to go on a visit with Helen, and her and Helen get into it, and Helen tell her, you walked away from a dead baby, from a dead child. The look that Anna gave her, honey, if looks could kill, she'd have blown up into tiny little bits and pieces. Long to the short of it, Jack and girlfriend is trying to work this situation out. And the next thing you know, Jack is trying to call Helen and get in contact with her. She's one of the girlfriends that was in the group, and they find her ass dead. She's sprawled out across a glass table at the school where she was the madam or the mistress over, y'all. Dead to the bed. But guess who was there before she died? Jack. Jack was there. Sugar said, I'm getting ready to go. I'm going to go watch. See you guys later. See you later, Sugar. Come on back to the replay comment section. I know you be back. Y'all. So the plot is thickening on here because he is running around trying to cover everything. He ain't gave his DNA swab. He lived with his sister named Zoe. He goes to the house with the little girl and swabs her mouth. I thought that was disgusting. He's sitting up there saying, we're going to play a little trick with each other. We're going to play a little game. I'm going to swab your mouth. So he takes the DNA swab that he has to give to the police department to rule him out as a suspect in Rachel's killing. And he goes to a little girl, like she probably was like 4 or 5, and swabs her mouth and turns that in to the detectives in the, because he know if his name come up, they didn't already said you got DNA. 9 times out of 10, that's the person that killed her. The detective is watching all of this shit that he's doing. She had put some lab work in and had tried to get some information off of her phone. Now, they couldn't find her phone. They told the husband, stop calling the phone because you're going to kill the battery. Now, they couldn't put the plug. So I know a lot of people was thinking, why won't they plug that phone in? Because if you plug the phone in, you identify yourself immediately. Soon as you get to charging that phone, everything want to come into life on the back end. You may not make a phone call on them for nothing, but right now all the analytics is up in the ground. In the ground, DC, our Verizon files of our telephone lines in most of DC is underground, but then there are still areas where the phone lines and stuff is up. Okay. But it don't make a difference whether it's under the ground or whether it's up and it's stuck on a line. As soon as you plug that telephone in, we know where your ass at now. So they trying to save the battery on it, but the husband is sitting at home calling the phone back to back. Him and Helen had gotten in an argument right before she died, but Jack was already at the school before she died. So now we looking at saying, oh my God, Jack he done killed Rachel. Now he done went over there to kill Helen because, he got to cover up the little crime that he done committed. He got to cover that up. Meantime and in between time, Anna and old girl are going back and forth because Anna is sleeping. It's obvious Anna's sleeping with the girl's husband, who's the photographer, right? That's just absolute. Lexi is like, okay, Anna is back. She trying to take my job, and I'm gonna keep my job. How's she gonna take my job? Meantime, and in between time, they show Anna and her relationship with her mother. The night of the killing, or because it was rainy and stuff, that night the mother had ambulance had to come and get the mother because the mother was walking butt naked, butterball naked in the street. Now the husband, Jack, has been taking care of her mother, checking in on her and stuff like that the whole time because he was like, she got dementia. When Jack had came to the house to be with Anna, right? The mother had greeted Jack and all of that kind of stuff. Maybe about an hour later, the mother was like, "Oh, Jack, when'd you get here?" So they concerned about the mother because she's an older woman, right? And she's worked all her life. Right now, she retired and stuff, but she a little cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. She don't remember when people come in. She said, "Jack, well, won't you stay and have some of my coffee? You love my coffee, Jack." And Jack was like, no, she said, "You like my coffee, Jack?" And Jack was like, "I love your coffee." And so when he left out the house and everything, and she was just there with her mother, she was like, "Mom, are you okay?" Because the mother has been having little stuff going on back and forth, right? About, being, coherent at sometimes and sometimes she wasn't. So, she was concerned about her mother. Jack was concerned about her mother. He assured her that he had been taking care of her mother and coming over there and checking on her. And that's the only person that she got is her mama. So the next thing you know, now we got two people who are dead, who went to the same school together, hung in the same crew. It was like five of them that hung in that crew. So Helen's dead. Rachel's dead. Zoe is Jack's sister. Anna is Jack's wife. She hung in the crew. And then they had Catherine, who hung in the crew because the other sister died, right? Don't give it away. Don't give it away. So they sitting up there, they doing what they do with the whoop whoop and the boo boo boo. They investigating. Jack steady trying to cover up. The little detective got a daggone wall with a whole bunch of stuff on it. And you just like, okay, what the was going on? Anna is still doing reports. She convinces them to have a town hall meeting. The town hall meeting goes awry. I mean, people in there accusing each other, finger pointing and all of that kind of stuff. They want this serial killer off the street who is killing these people. So it never got out right about the friendship bracelet until the second death. That there was a friendship bracelet that was stuck down into the throat of the two women who had died. Well, Zoe came to Jack on the job and was like, "Look, I'm paranoid that a month out here, right? Because I got, I feel like something going on." But prior to that, Jack had went into his sister's room and started going through her jewelry box, because he was like, "This just looked familiar to me." So when he went into the jewelry box, he had a little thing out and he told his sister, "Where'd you get this from?" And she was like, "Why are you in my stuff?" And he really ain't want to tell his sister Look, all these bitches got this same thing stuck down into their freaking throat. It was a calling card. But guess who else got one? Anna. But at this point, Anna don't know that these women got this friendship bracelet. So we automatically know one of they is about to die. But we are no closer to solving it. Right now, all eyes look like Jack. Jack goes over to the husband's house, threatens the husband that he gonna lock him up and accuses him of killing the wife. And he was like, you can kiss my whole entire, I ain't killed nobody. He's trying to get him, tell him he's under arrest, get in the squad car, and he like, oh no, hell no, I ain't doing nothing. Meantime and in between time, his partner is setting him up because she's seeing all this stuff he's doing behind the scene, putting her on petty little things. Oh, Xerox this or send that or make a call for this. And she like, what did he got to hide? So now she's doing her own investigation on Jack, who is her mentor and the senior detective at the department. Meantime, his wife is hither and thither. She going all everywhere, and she's still sleeping with Lexi's husband. Her and her husband end up talking. Anna and Jack end up talking in a very emotional scene where they were. She had said was trying to tell him why she left. He, in return, is trying to tell her how much he loves her and he forgives her, but he was hurt. He lost everything, his job, everything, his mind, everything. He's living with his sister and his niece. And so the two of them end up sharing, how they felt about the baby dying and all of that kind of stuff, right? They lost their baby. And so, they of course make love. It's a mess. So y'all, now the plot is starting to thick. Now, and I'm going around because I ain't gonna hold y'all out here too much longer. I ain't have no idea I was gonna be out here an hour, but I'm gonna wrap this up. The sister goes down to the station and she tells her brother, "Look, I think I'm next." She's trying to talk to him. She's an alcoholic. She just not, He still trying to cover himself up, all that kind of stuff. Right? It's a whole bunch of shit going on. She ends up going home. She goes into the house. She got her cup of coffee. She doing what she doing with the whoop whoop whoop, but she's scared as shit. She goes into the house. She got the window open. She go upstairs. Next thing you know, she floating in a pool of blood. She's dead. Jack come home. His sister is he's sitting down and he starts having water dripping through the ceiling. He goes up there, knocks on the bathroom door to try to get his sister to, open the door, find out why the water leaking. She don't answer. He kicked the door in and his sister is in a pool of blood. He loses it in the meantime and in between time. Anna's calling him. I just dropped you a ping. I need you to come over here. Some stuff going on. Lexi. Oh, Lexi. Husband is trying to kill Anna. Same person she been sleeping with. Now him and his wife trying to kill her. She shots at him. I don't know why she ain't take her time. But she's firing all these shots back to back. Gets him outside, locks him outside, and her and Lexi are fighting. And I mean, I'm talking about rumbling. Now, at the beginning of the series, y'all, Anna had came in there with a bad tooth in her mouth that the dentist told her to take it out. They was fighting so hard. Lexi knocked her in her mouth so hard that that tooth that she needed to be extracted, she ended up pulling it out of her mouth. This is how hard they rumbling. Oh, Anna's about to die. When Jack finds his sister in a pool of blood, he's going over there to get Anna because Anna done called. She's in a crisis, about to get killed. And a little rookie comes out there and pulls a gun on him because she suspects that he is the one that killed these women. So he's saying, look, I gotta go and save Anna. It's some stuff going down. Woo. She like, no, you've been doing this, you've been doing that. Like she is about to blow him off. He has to get close enough to her, knock her out, get in the car, go over there and save Anna. So come to find out that Lexi, the one that was trying to kill her and her husband, was Catherine. Catherine was the one that killed her sister with the inhaler palm. She changed her whole entire look. She started off looking like this. Let me show y'all. And I think I had already showed y'all, but I'm going to show y'all again. I'm talking about two different people. Plus, Catherine stopped using her government name. She took her middle name and swapped it out with her first name. So instead of her still being Lucy or whatever her name was, she was now Catherine. That was her middle name. She lost weight. She dyed her hair to look like her sisters. So hold on, let me show y'all. Catherine. This was Catherine and Anna when they was kids. Dark hair, heavy set, everything. Everything. But then she turned into this. So nobody knew that old Catherine was Lexi. Let me show y'all Lexi, how she morphed into her sisters. That's Catherine. She used her middle name Lexi as her first name and changed her whole entire life. But she was still the one that killed her sister. And remember, she said you get better or easy or it ain't nothing to do. They find out because Lexi ended up getting killed by the rookie detective that she was the same person who had been out there killing all of them. All her friends. Now, everything getting peaceful. Anna gets her husband back. They take in the daughter to take care of the daughter. Everything peaceful. But one day the mother decided that she was going to sit down with her daughter and have a convo. Yeah, she needed to have a convo. So that's my alarm saying, take you to bed. So she writes her daughter a letter. Mama writes her daughter a letter because she had some things that she needed to say and basically get off her chest. She wanted to make some confessions Mama did with her daughter. Now, mind you, when Anna came back home, this is Mama. When Anna came back home, she went through her childhood things. There was a video recorder there. She looked at it, she examined it because this is all she wanted to do was journalism. She had popped in, a tape was already in there, she played it, it started playing birthday music, and she basically threw that mother across the yard. Okay? Here go mama in one of her episodes that she was continuously having because of her dementia. Mama decided she was going to write her daughter a letter. That her and Jack, like I said, Jack been back together. They got the daughter, and she's pregnant now. She's the anchor because old sister girl Lexi did. Dead as a doorknob. Lexi picks up the letter from her mama and begins to read. Mama said that because she had lost her baby, didn't know where she was, she began to look at her videotapes. She said she would get her little stuff together, wind down for the night, and she would watch her tapes of her baby because that's what made her feel close to her daughter who had been gone for a year. Nobody knew where she was, anything. She said she got to the last cassette. She popped it in to the. Y'all remember the little VH tapes? Y'all remember they used to look like this? She popped that joint in. And she heard the little birthday. Rah rah going on. Mama got her drink. She got her snack. She got everything to watch this videotape of her baby. Because it's all she had. And as she began to watch, she saw her daughter partying and everything. And then she saw him down at the campground. Remember the campground where the three dudes they had set it up with these three boys, three men were going to come and essay the young ladies. They threw Catherine. They made them drink some vodka. Catherine drank the vodka and she couldn't handle it. They took her and threw her down on a mattress in the woods and thought that they was going to essay her. Anna, being a good friend, put her video recorder down and was like, what are y'all doing? Now, mind you, the other women who are already dead and gone now did not help. Instead of helping, Catherine got away. The three boys grabbed Anna. And on Anna's 16th birthday, they essayed her in the woods. And the sister laid up on a thing, her and her three friends. They watched and she said, I'm going to pay you extra. On her 16th birthday, Jack's sister, Catherine's two sisters, and Helen. I mean, Catherine's sister, because the other one, Catherine, done killed her. And they essayed her in the woods on her birthday. The mother was sitting there and was looking at her daughter. What happened to her daughter at 16 years old? She never knew. All those years that she continued to go to that school. Yeah, Helen too. All those years that she went to school, grew up to go to college and aspire to be everything she wanted to be, her mother never knew until she had lost the baby. Honey, the mother was sitting up there crying boo-hoo tears. She was devastated and angry. And so her mama turned into a serial killer. Her mama was the one who was in the woods when Rachel was in the back of the truck having sex with Anna's husband in the rain. Her mother saw Anna as she walked up and saw that and was like, girl, go home, get out of here, go home. She had no idea her mother was in the woods. When Jack rolled off in his truck and her daughter left, the mother, while all this was going on, had went over to her little Ferrari, took a little small paring knife and bust holes in the tires of Rachel's car. So Rachel couldn't drive nowhere. So when Rachel hopped in her car, as you all know, if you got a new car, it'd tell you where your tire pressure is. And it told her she had 0 tire pressure. So, of course, she gets out the car. She can't find her cell phone. But the mama found her with the little paring knife. Looked like she recognized her because, again, they made fun of her because the mother was cleaning their house. That mother stabbed her so hard, she flew up on the hood of the car. And what did mama do? Mama took that knife and stabbed her 40 times. Killed her. She said, now, I'm an old woman. Everybody think I got dementia. I ain't got no damn dementia. The mother who had been discounted, because you know how people discount older women and older men, and if we forget one syllable, one word in a sentence, all of a sudden, have you had your memory checked? You got those that sound like early onset dementia. So the mother said, I'm an old woman with dementia. I'm discounted anyway. What I say don't matter. I'm just an old has-been woman. I ain't supposed to be no serial killer. So that mother killed her. The mother went to the old school where she used to work and clean in there. She knew, like all the other girls knew, how to jingle the locks to get into the school. But here she is, she's an old woman who got dementia. And she played into that dementia game. She went up in there with Helen and her throat. Because remember, she ain't good for nothing but making coffee and staying in the house with dementia. Then Mama went on to Jack's house where his daughter was. I mean, his sister and the baby girl. 'Cause Mama used to clean up over there too. Because she was a black old woman who wasn't worshipped. Mama came up in there. Mama said, same keys, same doors. Basically, what Mama was saying is, I've had the keys to your house all these years, taking care of y'all, cleaning your house. Y'all made fun of it and thought less than You thought less than because I was black, and you thought less than I was less than because I cleaned your house. But you never changed your doors. Same keys, same doors. So all those years that the mother wasn't taking care of their house, she still had the same keys, same doors. It really, it really, anyway. Mama used the same keys to the same door that she used to clean up and went up there and cut Zoe's throat and pushed her down in the water and drowned her. Mama said, I'm giving my daughter back what was stolen from her. I gave her back by getting rid of Zoe. I gave her back her child, the child she should have had. By getting rid of Lexi, I gave my daughter back her job. By getting rid of Rachel, I gave my daughter back her husband. Mama went up in there, prayed like she had dementia, and turned into a straight serial killer. She lured Lexi to the house, but she didn't count on her daughter being there with the photographer, so she almost lost her daughter. But Mama said, y'all can play me stupid because my hair is gray. You can play me stupid because you think something wrong with me. Okay. And the mama, Lexi, was sitting up there reading the paper, right? She's sitting up there reading the paper, and Mama out there serving tea and coffee while her daughter is pregnant and they got Zoe's baby. Because Mama watched them sit back and let three men do what they did to her daughter, paid them for doing it, and did nothing. And she was in the window after her daughter was reading the letter. Anna took and looked up. She reading that letter. She was like, and the mother was out there on the patio. I see you. You see me. We see each other. Mama was like, I took care of all that. Because it ain't nothing like a mother's love. It ain't nothing that you definitely wouldn't want to do, but if pushed, that you would do for your child. Now, I don't know if I'd be running around being a serial killer, but when you think about your life and your child's life, you would freely give yours up for your child. After she sat there and made connection with her mother, and her mother was like basically, are you okay? I done confessed. I done wrote this down. You can turn me in. You can do whatever you want, but I needed to let you know why I had to kill all them bitches. And Anna sat there and said, first she was in shock, like, next thing you know, she's like, when I tell y'all, when I tell y'all that y'all have got to watch His and hers. The daggone, you got to watch it. It is worth the watch. I believe that his is, he had his going on with him, his side of the story. She had hers going on, her side going, and a mother was down the middle. This was so freaking good. I was all over the place, scared, sad, and the weird thing about it is I celebrated the mother killing them. Because when I tell y'all, when y'all watch that scene, it is horrific. Now, they tried their best to not make it as bad as it was. You said it was definitely a great one. Let me drop the link and see if any of y'all want to come up and ooh, 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 ooh. No, that's not what I want. I want this. I don't know how to do this, so I'm going to use the app. I'm going to drop the link. Let me tell y'all, this was good. It is worth the watch. I had a couple of girlfriends, and I was like, y'all just gotta watch this. And they was like, we ain't gonna be, I couldn't do it. I couldn't get through it. And I was on edge. I said, but you got to push through. I said, my secret is when something is bad like that and it get me scared, because I'm gonna tell you, it had me on a cliff, bitch. And I told him, I said, you got to rewind up a little bit, make sure everybody okay, and then you come back, you white ball back, you watch a little bit. When you get to a part that's seeming like it's a little shaky, you red ball forward. Y'all know that, right? You red ball forward, and you make sure you look in, see what's going on, and you white ball your ass back to where you was. And you get. I had to watch this in sips. I had to watch this in zips and in sips. I had to cheat a little bit to make sure there wasn't going to be something that was so bad that I was going to pass out on. You got to move up ahead. You don't just give up. I told him I need y'all to be watching. And I told him I'm going to do my review and it's going to have spoiler in it. So don't come over to my channel and look until y'all stop being scared. My girlfriends couldn't get through it. They could not get through it. So that's the key. Slide up, slide back, slide up, and then slide back. Just a little bit. You got ease yourself. You got ease yourself into what's going on. Y'all, when I tell y'all that this is the best thriller that I have seen in a very long time. This was so worth the watch, and me going to bed basically this morning at 1 o'clock. I was on this show. I was on it. Thank you all so much for coming and watching this review. I'm sorry it ended up going long. I didn't think it was going to go that long. So I apologize for going long. But y'all, this is a much watch. I had to come out here and talk about this like I had to. Let me know downtown in the replay what you thought about this. Did you know who you know what? Anybody say that they know who did it, they lying. Cause ain't no way in the world you knew who did it. Ain't nobody see the mother coming. Like she said, I'm an old, decrepit woman with dementia. I ain't out here serial killing nobody. That's why she got away with it and nobody ever suspected her. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I'm going to bed. And I will see y'all tomorrow for Love During Lockup. Love y'all. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Ray Della, for all you do. Bye, y'all.